Hey guys, okay, my apologies. My Facebook off my computer is still like just not working. It's just going, it's just spinning around there, spinning. Oh my God. So can you believe we've already been together? We're on day four of the Love Your Body, Lose the Weight Extravaganza. How is everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? It's a crazy week. I know we're waiting to hear about, at least in California, we're waiting to hear whether or not it's like complete government shutdown, which is, a lot, right? Like, it's like, what is going on? So I feel really, really blessed to be with you all and to offer this different areas of support. I'm going to get super comfy here on my sofa because we got some things to do tonight, right? We got some things. So how's everybody doing? Give me some thumbs up. Let me know. I'm not sure what's happening with my computer, but or let's just say I don't know what's happening with my Wi-Fi at the moment. So I'm glad that I could get on tonight. So we're on day 4. This is super, super crazy. I hope you guys are loving this. Can you believe we almost have 1,000 women that are in this, which is nuts, from all over the world. And I'm just so excited and so happy to be with you. So let's just go through this. As you know, I'm Melissa Kathryn. Obviously, you're in here with me right now. Day 1, we did the dieter must go. How to release control no matter how scary for effortless weight loss that lasts. All right. So we totally went into that. And you got some really epic homework. So I want to see, and by homework, I mean your love work. Day 2, we did up your frequency and flow. How to love and trust your body even if you don't trust yourself around food or like the way that you look, right? Day 3 of the Love Your Body portion of this, right? So it was a 3-day challenge and now we're on the 4-part live stream. Day 3 was worthiness and your weight, how to connect to divine guidance to own your power, right? So now in all of those days, you got some pretty epic homework that the messages I've just been receiving, people are like, this is like life-changing exercises. Day 1, your love work was your ideal body exercise, how to really honor her, right? It was about going and connecting to your ideal body and getting quiet and doing the future self meditation that was given to you. And if you were in your ideal body right now, how would it feel? What would you eat? What would your workouts be? What would your habits be? How would that be different? How would you dress different, right? So you have all of these handouts. Now I want you guys to know, please make sure to do these things because they will not be available to you forever. These are going to go away. They'll be going away by next week. So you really want to make sure you download them and that you do them. And there's a reason being because it puts you into action. So you have a whole extra week due to the coronavirus, obviously, but I also want you to get something from this. And just listening to the videos is great, but that's not where the results come from. That's not where true change and ahas come from. And I know life is a little crazy at the moment. And I also know this is an amazing opportunity to go, okay, wait, great. I get to connect in with me, right? And that's what I really believe, like everything that's going on in the world, we're being caused to connect with our families, to get out of going out to restaurants and all these different things, but actually be home, right? One of the women in my Ultimate Queens program pointed out, she was just like, it's actually like going back to the time of like our parents and stuff where like there wasn't so much connection and LED screens and all these things. Like now we're actually being called to be together for 5 nights straight and have dinner together as opposed to everyone off doing all their things, right? And, if you don't have kids in your home, it's like this is time for you to get to go inward and connect where you maybe otherwise hide behind a very busy schedule, or you hide behind your work, or you hide behind other different things. What's up, Lady Love, right? So this is an opportunity to go in and to check in on what it is that you're needing, right? So do these handouts. The next handout that you got was how to remove sabotaging traps, right? Practical steps needed to honor you and your body. That was still on day 1. These are like epic handouts. I had somebody email in and was like, said something, I have such a beautiful community. Normally, like my other friends that are my other colleagues and entrepreneurs are like, oh my God, I get like all these messages when I offer things for free where people are unkind. And I'm like, oh, I don't. I'm like, the women in my community totally appreciate everything that I do because they know I work my ass off and like it's all for them, for my heart. But I got an email that I woke up to this morning from this woman's like, I'm very disappointed that I haven't received any of the emails. It's kind of hard to do the challenge without them. And I was like, okay, my team is like busting their ass, as am I, to like make sure we're supporting everybody. And this is completely free. Like, this is not a paid program. Like, this is completely free gift from my heart. So I was kind of laughing. And I'm sending her lots of love. So handout 3 that you guys got just from day 1 was a whole identity exercise. Time to get to the root, right? To take time to sit and get to the root. And I took you through 6 specific steps for you to complete, right? And for the day 2, we did the forgiveness work. And you guys had really specific forgiving yourself and your body, the path to full healing, connection, and love. Right? You had a whole exercise around that. We did writing a letter, a love letter to your body, and I wrote and gave you guys specific prompts in your homework and an exact process to take you through, right? And then I also gave you the practical step of putting the scale away. When we're really loving ourselves and we're getting into our worthiness and our weight with day 3, it was putting the scale away, really taking out the energetic slap across the face that we have. What is up, guys? It is so good to be with you. So as I'm talking, let me know any questions that you have. We're done day 1 through 3, which is the Love Your Body portion, the Love Your Body challenge. And now we're on day 4. So you guys have all your handouts. There were handouts for days 1 through 3. Now I'm going to be giving you prompts as we talk, and I'm here to answer any of your questions. Today I'm really, really excited because this is something that I get to get into. You know, I've been doing this work for over a decade, and we've had thousands. I've supported thousands through all of my programs, from Done With Dieting 1 and 2, Done With Dieting 1, 2, and 3, my True Radiance event, my Naked Truth event are like basically like everything that we've done. And I've coached hundreds privately from around the world, and it's one of the things that I'm so proud of, that I absolutely like. Yeah, I always get emotional when I think about all the women that just hold such a space, and I'm seeing one of them on here right now that's so near and dear to my heart. Is there's like a full healing that happens. It's oh my God, you fall. I get to witness women fall back in love with themselves and discover who they are for, like, some of them the first time in their lives, and give themselves the gift of loving themselves, which is, right, it's like our divine right. It's our birthright to love yourself, to be your biggest cheerleader, to show up so strongly for you. And it's so epic when they choose themselves over food, when they choose themselves over being unkind, when I see that their love for them overflows into what their children see. And I get messages from women years. I mean, I get messages all the time that are like, I get the most random times. I'm like, my heart is so broken open and touched because I get these messages that are, it's like, because of you, like, my mother and I are, you know, repaired our relationship that was estranged. Like, because of you, like, and this program, you know, my boys, my sons, I'm thinking of one of my clients, you know, previous women from our program, you know, whose sons, like, do the things that they saw her doing as she went through a really horrific divorce, to love themselves, like, and they're like, Mom, we learned it from you, and you're the strong one, and like all of these amazing things that happen. And so it's truly such a gift. So this week for me, I mean, I couldn't have timed coronavirus and the fact that, you know, this time for support and the time to be able to love you and go inward and be with you. And because your food stuff's going to be illuminated. I mean, it's going to be illuminated. This is the time when the dieter's desire to control has no control right now, because we can't control what's going on in the world. And so tonight, I really love what I'm getting to talk about even more so. I love all of it, right? I create it. But tonight is Food 101. It's frequency, fun, and food freedom. And it's releasing fear of food, weight gain, and more. And this is really what no one is teaching. And you guys can apply this. What's up, girly? You guys can apply this to anything in your life. You guys can apply this to, so even if you're sitting there and you're like, I don't really have a lot of weight to lose, but I'm still noticing that like I'm going back into old behaviors with food, or I'm going into ways, what's up, Roxanne? Or I'm going into ways of not honoring myself, right? And I'm just noticing like that there's always that fear that I'm backsliding. If you've gone in my programs, like that, like, oh wait, I don't want to go back to who I was. Like I love where I am right now, right? And so I say this, Steph, I'm like, I want to say hi to everybody. I'm like, okay, I'm going to focus. So, but please ask me any questions, and I'd love you saying hi. So I say this because Food 101, anybody can benefit from this. So I want to break this down, and it's like some really cool concepts that I get really excited about. Food is energy. It is energy. Okay, we are all energetic beings. Food is a substance. It is not your friend. I know we all think it's our friend. It's not our friend. It acts as a friend. Many of you right now are in this space of awareness. This is all like groundbreaking. Like I'm reading your comments and it's like, oh my God, I had no idea. Oh my God. So right now, step one is always awareness. So for some of you, I'm like blowing your minds. You know, for others of you, you're like, oh yeah, no, I know. Food doesn't love me back, but sometimes I find myself being pulled back in, or I'm noticing this. So I really want you guys to understand this, the power of the mind. You get to create anything you want in life. You get to have whatever you want, whatever. The sky is the limit. My word for this year is limitless. My birthday is April 18th. It's coming up. Hopefully we won't be quarantined. I can see people. If not, we will all spend it together. I'm going to make us all wear like dresses and come into the group. I have my Ultimate Queens group. I'm like, guys, we're going to do a Saturday morning coffee and face masks. And we're all going to come together and I'll do a guided meditation and we're all going to do some self-pampering, some self-care. So I say this to you guys. Food is energy. It is energy. It has no power over you unless you give it power. I need you to really take that in. Food has no power over you unless you give it power. You can, there's not, and what I mean by that is this, a brownie is a brownie. It doesn't mean anything more. It does not mean you are a bad person if you ingested a brownie. It doesn't mean you're a bad person if you ate pizza with your kids and you're supposed to be gluten-free. It doesn't mean you're a bad person if you had ice cream. It doesn't mean you're a bad person unless you make it mean you're a bad person. Nothing in life matters except for your opinion about you. Really understand that. Nothing in life matters except for your opinion about you and the way in which you perceive life and the experiences that you have in front of you. So if you want to make you wrong for excess weight, then you are going to feel like a bad person and you are energetically going to feel weighed down and you will put weight on because you are constantly sending a message to yourself that you are not enough, that you are not deserving, that you are not worthy of good things. And if that is the message that you're sending, then yes, of course, you're going to put weight on and you're going to have health issues and you're going to have bad luck and bad things are going to happen because you are calling them into your experience. Does that make sense? Food, when I'm saying food is energy, we have to really understand it is an energetic exchange. Just like I said yesterday with worthiness and weight. Worthiness equates to your weight. And it also equates to your net worth. Self-worth, net worth are synonymous. Your weight and your worth are synonymous. If you're struggling with your worth, you're going to struggle with your weight. If you're struggling with money, then I guarantee you're struggling with your worth. And if you're struggling with your worth, then you most likely are struggling with your weight. I don't care if you're below your weight or if you're at a goal weight, you're still mentally in a problem where you're sitting there always trying to control or fixate or focusing on not being enough in some way. So remember, where there's lack, right? Where there's gaps, we will create lack. Where there's lack, we will have gaps. Does that make sense? Right? So we will fill the gaps with food. We will fill any of the gaps within our lives. We will fill any of the gaps within a relationship to ourselves with food. Any of the lack that we experience within ourselves, we will seek to fill it outside of us, right? So food is energy, money is energy. Is everybody with me here? And I don't mean to confuse with like the money and the food, but I just want to point that out because I have a lot of clients that are in here with business and other things. And it's just like, And I'm like, no, money is energy. It is an energetic exchange. Food is an energetic exchange, right? We don't want to hoard food, right? It's really, really important that we start to understand that food is energy, that it is a substance, that it's not our friend. All that's happened in all of this in Food 101 that no one teaches in the dieting industry, because if they did, you wouldn't want to keep dieting. Really understand this. A diet is not a cure for anything. Once you say yes to a diet, I said this in the very, very first video, and I've repeated it many times over. The minute you say yes to a diet, you abandon trusting yourself. The minute that you say, yes, I'm going to do this. Now, listen, I understand that there's different things that are done for medical reasons, so please don't bring that into this. I'm just talking about it from a dieting, chronic dieting, making yourself wrong standpoint, right? So there's certain things that I follow since I had cancer that I'm like, okay, I know I'm cancer free. I know I'm great and all of that. It's not from a fear base, but it's also from a practical, smart standpoint of like, why would I just sit around and ingest, gallons of sugar or something when I know that I was like, had cancer once, right? Like, so I'm like medical, let's take medical out of it. I'm talking about diets for dieting's sake, okay? Not from a medical standpoint. So oftentimes when we go into the dieting world, it's from a place of not feeling in control, and you want to control. You want to control, you want to have a plan because you need to know that there is an end result, because you don't trust yourself and because you lack the faith. Faith is, I believe in my body, I believe in myself, I believe in my process, even when I'm not seeing results. This is why I tell people, put the scale away. This is why in our most coveted program, Weight Loss for Life, now called Love Your Body, Lose the Weight, because I love the name so much that I even created an extravaganza around it. Even in our most coveted program, I say put the scale away. Put the scale away. We do not need, because while your body is changing, if you've been struggling with your weight for most of your life, going up and going down, your body needs time to acclimate to a new way of being. And if you're feeling really good and you're like, I feel good, I feel like I'm losing weight, I feel so good, and then you get on the scale and the scale doesn't reflect the way that you feel, even if you're happier, you're sleeping well, right? Like all the things, and you're feeling really good, even if that's happening and you're still beating yourself up, you're going to derail yourself, which means you will end up overeating and sabotaging yourself, all from a number on scale, versus actually being in your body and trusting in the process. Does this make sense? So when we're talking about food being energy, we want to understand that food is a substance and it will not love us back, right? It's really, really important that we start to really get in that space. And we want to get out of the dieting space altogether. So why Food 101? So once we want to understand that food is energy, food is a substance, food is fuel. Food is not meant to weigh you down. You know if you've eaten too much, if you're lethargic and need to lay on the sofa, right? Also, what I really want you to know, again, I want to reiterate that you are an animal by nature. We are animals by nature. Your body is telling you all the time what foods it likes and what foods it doesn't. All the time. Think about if you have a pet. If you have a pet, you know that let's just say a dog. I like dogs. I love dogs. So let's just say you have a dog. Well, if you give your dog one bowl of food and he doesn't eat it, you're like, oh, okay, they must not like this in there or that in there. You're not going to keep just shoving the bowl in front of them. Or if they have something and then they throw it up, or, they're laying down and they have a tummy ache, you're going to go, that's obviously not good for them, right? Yet, how often as humans and how many times have you eaten something that causes you acid reflux, indigestion, IBS, constipation, right? Or you just sit there and you're just like, okay, like my brother has asthma. I healed myself of asthma. I cut dairy out. He's like, no, I just don't want to give up cheese. So I see him and I listen to him and he's like, and I'm like, oh my God, like you sound like you're going to keel over. You're like 4 years older than me. Like, what are you doing? And you have like young kids. And he's like, I like cheese too much. Like that to me does not make any sense. But again, I just want to use this as an example. This is not to make you wrong. I just want you to really connect in with yourself. You are ready. Take a pen and paper right now. And I guarantee that you can write down at least 3 to 5 foods that do not work well with your body. And then I want you to write those down and then look and see, do you still eat them? Because one of the most amazing things that I found is that throughout childhood, there are things that we just didn't want. And it's because our body was already telling us that it was going to either create an allergy, it was something that we weren't wanting. right? And it's fascinating because as I've gotten older and really learned and harnessed the skill of connecting into my body to use it to the point where it's actually my connection is what saved my own life. And now what I teach so many women, and I'm such an advocate around for advocating for your own health and knowing that your body is a compass that will guide you to your ideal weight with so much ease that you're almost like, what have I been doing? Putting myself in so much pain and paying for all these diets and cleanses and pills and crazy things that, trust me, I was there. I did them all. It's amazing. And I will tell you this, when I looked at those foods that I was turned off from as a child, and I looked as an adult at the foods and I started really learning, and I went back to school for nutrition and I'm learning all these different, your blood type and eat right for your blood type and like all the different things. And then I started looking at foods that were putting weight on my body, and I started to get really connected. I don't care if it's health foods. Like I cannot eat a lot of avocado. It's just my body doesn't do well with it. I will put on weight right away. It's the same thing with nuts. Like I love nuts. I would love, I put a jar of peanut butter and I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing. Like who doesn't want a Reese's peanut butter cup? And it just, I will put on weight really quickly. It doesn't, and I don't feel well. I get like really constipated. Like it just doesn't work well with me. But I look back and I never used to really want avocado. I started like subscribing to avocados when I learned that they were like a superfood that I should have. But in retrospect, right, I'm just using examples. Like there were certain things as a child that I was turned off to and I never really wanted. And I would try to put them in my diet for health reasons or because a certain diet told me I should. And it ended up actually doing more damage. And this is why certain diets, this is why I say everyone's body is different. There is not one diet that works for everybody. You cannot subscribe. Some people thrive on a high-fat diet and do great with keto. Other people cannot do that. Some people really don't process carbs. Other people need carbs or they feel faint. You need to be connected to your body to know what your body is telling you. And I want you to actually take time to get clear with yourself tonight and make that list of foods and really go, okay, wait, what are foods that I naturally feel good for me? Not foods that I think that I would want, like donuts and ice cream. I mean, what is your body when it craves things? What is it craving? Because I can tell you this, and you'll hear this if any of you have done my programs or done my Conquer Your Cravings kit, and that portion of our program as well, or just the kit on its own, I really talk about head cravings and heart cravings. And I talk about the difference. And a true craving, when you're really, really hungry, you're not sitting there like, I need chocolate. That's a craving after you've eaten. And it generally comes to offset an imbalance where you had too much salt, right? Just like if you've had too much sugar, you will want something salty. Why do you think the sweet and salty combo is such a winning combination? But when we're really balanced and we're actually in a space where we're empty and we need fuel, your body is craving a protein, a vegetable. It wants something that is needed in the body, right? This is why when women are pregnant, they have all these different cravings. They're like, I never eat this stuff normally, because your body's filling in the gaps on imbalances. Does this make sense? You guys all with me? Yeah? I love being able to do Facebook Lives, but I have to tell you, no questions pop up until like afterwards. So I'm always like, and since my Facebook won't open on my computer, I'm like, I hope they're with me. Okay, thank you for the floater. The floating thumbs up. All right, so here's the other thing. So the other thing that I want to tell you with energy and food, and I was sharing this, one of my clients, I did an email about this, she's on here. Thank you, Steph. She lost like 5.5 pounds in like a few weeks. And what I shared with her is a simple truth. I said, you need to start saying that I lose weight now. I lose weight effortlessly now. I lose weight easily now. I don't care if you don't believe it. I need you to say it now. I am healthy now. I am safe now. Fill in the gaps. I am wealthy now. I am worthy now. But in essence, with food and what we're talking about is, I lose weight now. I lose weight easily now. I'm at my ideal body now. When you send that message with the word now, not to the universe, we don't want to tell the universe that we don't want it for like weeks or months or years. We want to say we want it now, right? So when you want something now, you want to put now. I'm at my ideal weight now. So when you're at your ideal weight now and you say that now, your body will guide you to when you're hungry. And what you will find, just like my client, and just like all my clients, I had another one just sent me today, and she goes, I ordered food last night and I got 3 bites and put it away. I went to bed. And I'm like, yeah, because you're doing what I teach, right? And she's listening. She's listening to her body, and her body is guiding her. This is not a diet. I'm not telling her to do these things. She's listening because it feels good and because she's connected to her body, and her body is guiding her to her ideal weight. When you actually use the words and tell your body what you want it to experience, not I hate you, not you're never going to lose the weight, not oh my God, you look so fat, not all the thoughts that are going on in that gorgeous head of yours, or why haven't we lost weight yet, or it's never going to happen, or oh my God, it's so hard, or I look so gross, or I can't go anywhere, or blah, 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 I'm so bloated, I'm so this, why did I eat all that? Cut it. We want to start to love, right? Why do you think I started with the Love Your Body 3-day challenge? It's to love you. It's to learn how to talk to you. It's to be in partnership with you. It's to be in connection with you. You are worthy and deserving of all of your desires now. You are worthy of weight loss now. And it is meant to be easy, girl. It is so meant to be easy. It is not meant to be all the things hard, right? And so I really want to tell you that. Now, I say this. She said this and was like, yeah, Melissa, it's so strange the past 3 nights, like I haven't even wanted dinner. I'm going to preface this. Your body's going to guide you to your ideal weight. Our stomach is only the size of a fist. It does not need a lot of food at all. So any outside eating that you're doing, it's all stemming from emotions. It's giving you entertainment. It's filling the gaps. It's from procrastination. It's from stress. It's from other things, but it is not from hunger. And if you actually only ate when you were hungry, it wouldn't even be a problem, right? And that's what we're doing here. That's what we're starting the process with. That's what we're bringing awareness around. Obviously, I can't undo like decades in a 7-day extravaganza. This is why I have my Love Your Body, Lose the Weight program. This is why I teach this. This is why we do it in an extended period where you get that support to go in. That's why so many women always want to join that. And that's our most coveted program. I will say this, do these steps, start to notice, start to connect in, go there. And I can fill in more about that. I know you guys keep asking me, what is the next step? What is the next step? What is the next step? What's the program? What's the program? I will share any of that stuff, but for the purpose of right now, Food 101 tonight, day 4, right? Frequency, fun, and food freedom. So release fear of food, right? We've been talking about food and energy and frequency, right? So what I want you to know is when you start saying this statement to your body, I'm at my ideal weight now, I'm at my ideal weight now, your body will not be hungry. You will notice it will have you be hungry when you're hungry. So it's up to you to take the inspired action and listen. It's up to you to actually listen to that. It's very, very, very important, right? Very important, because if not, then you're aware, you're telling a message to your body's giving you the signal. It's like, okay, we've got enough food. We don't need any more fuel. Here's the other one, ladies. You don't need a lot of food to go to bed. It's fuel. What are you doing? You're going to sleep. And so we really want to reverse this whole concept of our largest meal is at the end of the day and blah, 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 blah. You don't need a lot of food to go to sleep. You don't. What you need to do is wake up light and to feel emptied out and to empty out first thing and feel hungry, so then you can give yourself the energy that you need to then have a productive, efficient day and burn off that energy throughout the day. Right? That's why we burn off breakfast, we burn off lunch. Dinner's your smallest meal. I mean, it's kind of, if you really go back to ancient times, it's the way it always was. It was never meant to be this big, extravagant thing. And it's just kind of turned into that. And in our society, times just got later and later and later. And as we're aging, we actually need to bring it back and be done early. I mean, I'm fully subscribed to the early bird special. I'm totally eating dinner. I'm done at the latest by 7. But I'm does anybody want to go to dinner at 5? Because I'm ready. Okay. So here's the other piece that I will tell you, and why my clients have so much success is in our programs, we really create tandem change. We do internal with external. So we start to really fill the void. What I will say is this: if food is your fun, then we need to create fun in your life. If food is your fun, and that's what you're looking for, then you're not going to have freedom from food because it's serving too big of a purpose, right? Really understand this. You are in a relationship with food. I know it might seem crazy, but really think about it. If you look forward to eating, especially in isolation, if your meal times are the most exciting times in your day, if generally you eat your biggest meal at night alone, you're busy all day, but that's your pleasure, that's your give back to you, that's your release. Maybe again, you're busy all day, but then you come home and you haven't eaten anything, and then you eat for like 2 hours straight, right? Like you're sitting there, you want it to be this long process, right? Many of the women in my community are like, yeah, I'll say like, yeah, you put your feet up, you're Netflixing, and you don't want it to end. You don't want the experience, you don't want the reprieve from life to end. The actual time where you get a break. So you just keep eating, and you get up and get something else, and you get up and get something else, and then you bring a whole bag and a snack onto the sofa with you, and then you go to bed feeling extra full, vowing that you won't do it again, and then it's the exact same thing that you do again, and you feel the weight coming on. You feel it, but you keep doing it. And it's really from a lack of fun, a lack of play, a lack of pleasure. And what really is underneath is a lack of a connection to you, a lack of a desire to actually connect in and really ask yourself, what is it that I really want? What is it that I really want? And I always teach 4 questions. Am I really hungry right now? What's going on in my life right now? Is food going to solve the problem? And what can I do instead? What's going on in my life right now? Write these down. Am I really hungry? What's going on in my life right now? Is food going to solve the problem? And what can I do instead? Because you have conditioned yourself to go to food. You have conditioned yourself. Food is the outlet. Food is the fun. Food is what we're looking forward to. It is comfort. It's also a safety blanket for many of you. It was a means to an end to support you at a time when you didn't have the faculties to support you in another way, right? Many of you created a dysfunctional relationship with food and this need to diet early on. And it started early on because something occurred for you where you didn't feel worthy, you didn't feel enough, you didn't believe that you were enough, you didn't feel deserving of something, or you felt afraid and there was a trauma and you needed to feel safe in your body. So you started to eat and maybe you didn't feel accepted or approved of. Or maybe you felt wronged by your parents, or you endured a sexual trauma of some sort, or just trauma in general, or your parents got divorced, right? I spoke about trauma, or your parents got divorced, and you can also listen to it in this week's podcast, how to release trauma from the body, how to identify it and release it from the body. So you can actually release energetic weight and physical weight and heal. And again, I say all of this, guys, nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. You are perfect exactly as you are. There is no part of you that is broken. We are just in here right now to enhance what is already epically extraordinary, which is you. We are just enhancing. We are peeling back. We are taking your light that got dimmed and we're shining her up to bring her out so that you can share your gifts with the world, so that you can show up as the confident, extraordinary, beautiful woman that you are, that is deserving and worthy of everything that she desires, standing confidently in her body and feeling so good and wanting to be seen and wanting to play big and sharing yourself with the world. So I just wanted to say that to you. So really, really important. When food is a safety blanket, when food's a comfort, do you understand that you're not going to be able to cut it out through dieting? Because your little girl, the little girl inside you, your inner child is going like, no, you can't take that out. It's too afraid in the world. We're not going to be okay without it, right? Like, I will not be okay without this. And that's what she hasn't learned yet. She hasn't learned another way. And the truth is, you as an adult haven't either, or else you wouldn't be here right now. Right? I know I hadn't. So I was sitting there really struggling and I just completed my I think I was like 30 when I started. No, 28. And I really was like, oh wow, this is really not I started the journey. And it really became illuminated after my fitness competition. And I just said, oh wow, like this is not me needing a diet and just needing to hop back on the horse because I sabotage myself. This is me not having the identity. To underlying that is I don't believe that I'm really deserving or worthy of good things or ease. And I actually don't know what it would be like to not struggle to have this or to not have to work hard. And then honestly take food away and what is there, right? Like, I know that sounds really sad as I'm saying it and kind of like, but it's really how I felt. I mean, I was like, my boyfriend and I had broken up. It was feeling a loneliness, and the loneliness was not from a lack of friends or love in my life. It was a lack of love within myself. I had tons of love in my life. I had tons of amazing, epic friends and so much going for me. It was my lack of love within me that I felt lonely, you know? So when I was alone, I didn't want to be alone. Hence, I would numb out with food and I would eat so that I felt so full that then I could fixate on beating myself up because being with me wasn't something that I really wanted. I didn't know what to do with that. I could be alone with me on my phone, with me on my computer, with me reading, but to really know me, to really love me, to really find out more about me and who I was then and what made me happy and what my inner thoughts were, that scared the shit out of me because I knew my inner thoughts. I heard them and they weren't nice. They weren't nice at all. So yeah, when I wanted to eat, I wanted to numb out, I wanted to not feel, I wanted to not deal. And I was really afraid of this path that I was feeling called to, of being a coach, of doing this, of being seen in the world, because I so harshly judged me. So if I so harshly judged me, how in the hell would I show up and allow myself to be judged by the world? That was terrifying, terrifying. So yeah, I could put on this whole mask and I could go out in the world and I'm good, yeah. Oh no, I eat clean, I'm just super healthy, I'm so good. No, I'm happy, right? But behind closed doors, I felt like a fraud, I felt like a hypocrite. And I felt this massive calling that scared the crap out of me that I seemed to not be able to say no to. And it petrified me. And I didn't really know how to stand in my power. And I didn't feel safe in my body. And I didn't feel safe to feel seen. And not only that, I had abandoned me, a long time ago. So I was like, who would I do this? So I felt like there were two people. I felt like there was the persona of me in the world. And then there was this other one, right? So food filled a giant gap. Food was my friend. Food was there for me when I felt scared. Food was there for me when I was nervous and procrastinating and this workload and this new going out on my own with my business felt so overwhelming. So I didn't want to give up food. I didn't even realize that I didn't want to until I started to recognize, like, why is it that the very thing that I want is to just feel good, and I feel good in my body and I lose the weight and I'm feeling confident and I know that's what is going to support me with feeling strong in myself and the momentum to go out there, but then I'm eating all the weight back. Why am I doing this to myself over and over again? And then I don't want to be seen, and then I'm break up with my boyfriend and and I'm creating all these barriers against me and not letting people in and not being vulnerable. Is anybody here with me on this? So this is where we want to actually step into freedom. And this is where we start to shift our frequency and we start to allow for connection and we start to open up these parts of us that are vulnerable, and we let people in, and we do it in places like this. We do it in the sisterhood. We do it by showing up. We do it by sharing. We do it by opening up and saying, yeah, I'm not perfect, and that's okay. I don't want to be, because perfect is freaking boring. And you know what? Real is real. Real is what real life is. And no one's doing any favors by acting perfect all the time. No one's doing any favors by showing up and projecting a perfect life on Facebook or Instagram or acting. You guys aren't doing any favors by not letting your husbands into your world, or by not sitting there and actually letting friends know, hey, I've got this thing that I would really like some support. And it's kind of like a new way for me. I've been dieting forever, but I'm not going to really talk about that stuff anymore. And I'm kind of like, right? Like, we've got to start to come together and be real and be honest and support and lean on one another and peel back the masks and show up authentic and real and recognize that you're not a hypocrite and there's nothing wrong with you, and you're only a hypocrite if you think you are, and the only person that's really, really harshly judging you is you. The only person, what we actually need to do is take the masks off and say, this is me. And you know what? I'm like done with it, and I'm done with making myself wrong, and I'm done with struggling, and I'm done with the hard, and I'm done with struggling with whatever it is for you. You know, I know we're talking about weight right now, but like with my private clients, I mean, we're talking about it all, right? Like, and in my Ultimate Queens group, like everybody, I'm always working with people on multiple levels. I know the purpose of this right now, but this applies to everything. So really, really hear what I'm saying. Take off the mask and start to get real with yourself and say, I'm amazing as I am right now. I'm amazing as I am right now. I can have anything that I want, and it can be as easy as I want. I make up the rules. I get to make up the rules for how this gets to go. I get to see how I experience this. This is the same thing with the coronavirus. I get to see how I experience this. How can I turn this into a gift? How can I turn this into something that supports me in being the best version of me? How can I actually thank this experience in my life, shift my frequency from one of victim and one of, oh, woe is me, and oh my God, and here I am, and I've been doing this for so long, and I'm so upset with myself, to, wow, I'm so excited to be a part of this extravaganza. Wow, I'm taking all of this in, and I'm so ready to change. Wow, this is so amazing. I'm actually hearing this for the first time, and it's so amazing to me that I can let this all go. I can just say to myself, I let this go. I choose to see this differently. I choose to be different. I choose to show up differently. I'm on the other side of this. I'm willing to see this differently. I'm so excited to see this differently. I'm so excited that for the first time I'm actually hearing this, and I'm ready to let go of dieting, and I'm ready to be on the other side, and I'm ready for it to be fun. I'm ready for it to be easy. I'm ready to rediscover who I am, and I get to have fun with this. I get to meet me for the first time, and I get to love me, and I get to find out what excites me and what lights me up, and then I get to share that with the world. And for the first time, I'm going to be able to receive love from other people in such a deep, epic way, and I'm going to be able to be there for my children and be there for their children and be there for my friends and receive love in a way that I never have, because for the first time, I'm going to be able to receive love for myself. Like unconditional, be my biggest cheerleader, by my side, telling myself the things that I always wanted to hear from somebody else. I'm now going to learn how to do that. And it's not going to be a long journey, and it's not going to be hard and fast. It's going to be fast, and I'm going to see changes really quick, and it's going to feel so good, and it's going to be really empowering. And I can't believe this. I'm so excited. Right? I'm so excited for this opportunity. Wow, yay me. Right? Like, we want to be in a space of like, oh my God, what a gift. What a gift. Because guys, I truly put this extravaganza on as a gift. And I want you to receive it as a gift of love for you, and take it into your heart and go, okay, yeah, and not take anything I'm saying as, oh my God, yeah, I've been doing this for years. Oh my God, me too. Oh my God, yeah, this feels so, it's so much, and there's so much wrong with me. Like, when you're doing the homework, it should not be like, oh wow, like, yeah, I'm so blocked. It's like, no, wow, look, I'm just got cleared. Like, I illuminated something that's been in me that I didn't even see before. Wow, this is so awesome. Like, you now have an opportunity to change this, and it gets to be fun, and it gets to be easy, and it gets to be amazing. It gets to be anything that you want it to be, because you are creating it. Do you guys get that? You get to create every experience, everything that you have in life. It's all your perception. Either you spill coffee on yourself and it's going to be a shitty day, or you spill coffee on yourself and you change your shirt and go, well, this one's even better. It's up to you how you want to make everything in your life and the meaning that you want to give to it. If you want to make your weight mean you are a bad person and you're not able to have things that you desire, then that's what you're going to continue to experience. Or you get to go, wait, I can change my entire life now. This gets to be the beginning of the best years of my life in a body that I love, and it's going to be so amazing, because for the first time, I'm going to do it in a way that I never have. I'm going to do it the right way, and I'm going to do it in a way that's going to last, and it's going to feel so juicy, and it's going to feel so good. Do you guys notice you're already vibing off of my energy? You're taking in everything that I'm saying. This is what I mean about energy. This is what I mean about frequency. We shift our frequency into an expectancy of only good things. I expect only miracles. I expect only good things. Only good things are going to come from this. Only good things are happening to me, right? Only good things, only good things, only good things. So you get to say that. Your words matter. You get to create, right? That's why I'm talking about food and food 101, right? And fun and frequency and food freedom. All of these things get to happen, but it's not going to happen if we still stay on the dieting train. It just doesn't, right? So now we get to release the fear of food. Food doesn't have any hold over us unless we allow it. Pizza is not bad unless we sit there and make it bad and make it mean we're bad because we ate it. It is just food. And when you actually tell your body it is just food, something that I always say is, I'm about to eat something and I just go, body, this nourishes you, and what it doesn't, what you don't, whoa. I've got to, do you hear how amped up I am? This is how excited, because I know what's possible for you, and I feel it. I'm so excited by it. So something that I always say, and I am a Reiki practitioner too, so I'm always like Reiki in my food, but just energy-wise, anybody can do this. It's not like, right, like this isn't like, oh, Melissa's special and she can do these things and I can't. No, we're all in this. So you can literally just put your hands over food, sending them some love, or put your hand over your heart, or pray and just go, may my body, may you love what we're about to eat, and may you release what we don't. May you love what we're about to eat, and may you release with ease what you don't. So it can just be that simple. Like, you're about to eat ice cream. It's like, I'm not saying like if you eat a gallon of ice cream, you're not going to gain weight. Obviously, guys, like we want to and there's so much that comes with just energy of body. I'm nourishing you. May you love what we're about to eat, and may you release what you don't with ease, and bye-bye, right? So all energy, we're an energetic being. Talk to your body just like you talk to a baby, right? We did this in day 3, worthiness and weight loss. This was one of your exercises, how to talk to yourself and your inner child like you are an infant in your own arms. What does she need to hear, right? So important. So important, right? Are you guys jiving with what I'm saying? Yeah, right? I think we are. Okay, so I've been talking a really long time. Okay, I've almost been on an hour. So I don't see any questions. And I was going to answer. Give me a minute here, guys. So are you guys like jiving with what I'm saying, right? I don't get this because it's the wholeness group. I wonder if it's because I was trying to do a video. It's just like blank. There we go. I love watching myself live. Hold on. There was a question. Jennifer Smith, by the way, I just wanted to say I'm so proud of you about sharing the homework. Guys, share your ahas. Share your ahas with the homework and what's going on for you. Use this group. All right. And I also posted the future self meditation in here so you guys can do that. My nail polish already chipped. It makes me sad. Because I don't have how much time? Honestly, painting my nails will be a nice project. Although, I've been working nonstop. It's so much. Okay, so Ingrid said, I need tips for giving myself affirmations, relaxation, pat on the back at the end of a long, hard working day that I love. So affirmations, honestly, I would listen to this. I would listen to my rant and I would listen to it over and over again. The affirmations, for anybody, you guys need to write down in your journal, what have you always longed to hear? What are you always looking for somebody to tell you? And what are you wanting them to say? Generally, what we always want somebody to say is, I'll love you always. I love you. You are more than enough exactly as you are. You are perfect exactly as you are. You've done good. You did great. There's nothing more for you to do. And to wrap your arms around yourself and say that you love you. Ingrid, at the end of the day, I would ask yourself, what is it that you need to hear? You know that, right? Guys, we have to go in. You have those answers. So as much as I could say things that I like to hear, what does your inner being need to hear? And that's for everybody. And she said, I'm fatigued at this point and of course prone to the old unhelpful paths. So guys, I'll say it again, plate it, portion it, put it away. While you're home, make sure that you have your meals and you plate it, portion it, and put it away. Take the snacking out, go outside as much as you can, stick to projects, get to work, like do other things. But this is going to test, those different pieces in you, and you get to shift out of them. And when you're saying, I just deserve food pleasure now, listen to this call, because it's not, guys, you're not deserving of pleasure from food. You're deserving of pleasure. It's not food. It's just foods become your pleasure, which is why you're connected to it. So again, you're never going to be able to diet and lose the weight and keep it off when we are using food to connect us to so many things that are devoid in our lives. So where there's lack, you will fill the gaps with food. In our program, we do a circle of life exercise, and the women get really, really clear. My hair. The women get really, really clear. What's going on the days? The women get really, really clear on the areas of their life where there are gaps. And, whether it's intimacy, career, relationships, self, money, spirituality, family, and they get really, really clear. And we start to fill those gaps, which is how they're able to how they're able to listen to their bodies and not just go, okay, and have the overriding sensation for pleasure or the need for comfort pull them in. That's how my client went to bed last night after 3 bites and didn't have dinner, because she was already full from the areas of her life that we filled. So she felt her heart was full, right? She was full. She was satiated outside of food. It's when we're not satiated and we have desires and we're not balanced. We're not allowing ourselves the pleasure, the play. And guys, you don't need pleasure, and play doesn't have to be like, oh, I can't go out dancing right now, or I can't do this. You can do anything in your home to bring you play and pleasure. It's about learning how to do that for yourself the way a child learns how to, entertain themselves. And that's a really important piece. And then the other thing is, just put the kitchen's closed after a certain period of time. Kitchen's closed in my house at 7:00. Make that your rule with yourself, and notice when your inner child is throwing a tantrum around that, because that's where the real work is. Because if she's throwing a tantrum and wants to rebel against that, that's where the work is. Remember, whenever we're sitting there telling ourselves things, you're going to hear another voice that goes, but I don't want to. Why do I have to watch what I'm eating? Why do I have to eat less at night? Why do I have to listen to my body? Why do I struggle and other people don't? That's victim energy. It's just a story. And you get to choose whether or not you want to stay a victim or you want to come out of it. Heather, we're cutting a different meditation for you, so don't you worry, love bug. Aaron, I definitely need more. And by the way, the meditation that was done on day 2, it starts like 2 minutes in, so you guys can listen to that as much as you want. I will say though, do know that the Extravaganza is not going to be up forever. So make sure that you do it, because it's going to be taken down in a week, and it's going to become a bonus in our Love Your Body, Lose the Weight program. And it will probably be sold as a bundle later on somewhere along the lines as a product. So do it. Do this while it's available to you. Aaron Thompson, I definitely need more on food freedom. Well, I hope you got that tonight. That was the point of tonight. I've been restricting for so long that my hormones are all messed up, and then the mental side of things are worse. I'm stuck in the diet culture. Looking forward to today's event. Aaron, I hope this really spoke to you. Let me know. And so far, if you've been doing day 1 through now, there should be a lot that's supporting you and getting out of the dieting culture. Truly, getting out of the dieting culture is a choice. And it's really, really a choice that you have to look at the benefits of why you're getting out and tell yourself what it is that you want instead. Why are you ready? Like when I got out of the dieting culture, I said, I'm done. And I was like, I'm so done with doing it this way. I'm so done. This is so messed up. This is BS. Like, I don't want to live this way. I don't want to live where I'm always making myself wrong and I'm spending all this time, like I'm missing out on life. I'm missing out on fun because I'm so restrictive. I'm making myself wrong, or I'm beating myself up, or once I get to a goal weight, I'm fixated on, can I stay there? I was like, this is not living, and I refuse to live this way. I refuse to allow myself to do this. I deserve so much more than this. This is BS, and I am worthy of so much more than this. And now I get to do the work. Now I get to do the love work and really get myself to know that I am deserving of so much more, that I am worthy of so much more. And it was that got me to go, I'm not doing it this way. And people lose weight all the time, and now I get to do it the right way. That's actually calls on more fun, more joy, connecting to the divine, connecting to my highest self, to actually see what's possible for me and to know the limitless nature that is me. But if I keep being in this dieting culture, if I keep saying yes to diets, if I keep finding fault within myself, then I'm basically playing God within myself and saying that, and this again isn't pushing religion, it's just what I was experiencing and where I'm at, and why I think faith is such a pivotal piece. And I mean faith in something greater. I don't care if it's God or whatever for you, source power, but just believing in something greater. You have to get to a point where you're so sick and know that there has to be a better way, that this concept of beating yourself up and making yourself wrong and dieting, going on another dieting and restricting and obsessing and calorie counting, that it's just distracting you from what it is you're actually meant to do in the world, from what it is, from the love that's actually available to you, from the money that's available to you, from the fun that's available to you, from the freedom that's on the other side of this. And it's up to you if you want to step into that, and you get to say, I'm done with this. I'm so done, and I'm ready for another way. And like, I want the MK method. Like, I am ready, right? Like, or whatever, like anybody that subscribes to like what I do, but like that you're ready, that you're on the other side, right? Like, this is what I teach. This is what I'm committed to. This is my mission in the world. So it's about going, I am worthy and deserving of so much more. I'm ready to be me. I'm ready to be me before I ever thought I was less than. I'm ready to come back to the truth of who I was before I ever thought I was less than due to a number on the scale. And I'm so done giving my power away to these diets and these programs that just perpetuate an already broken relationship with myself. I don't want to be broken anymore. I want to be whole. I want to be whole, and I want to have fun with this, and I want to find joy in this, and I want to find joy, and I want to feel more freedom around food, which is ironic, right? Because it's actually releasing control that gives you more control than ever, because you start to go, life is so much more than eating food. There's so much more fun at this table, like the people at it, and what I get to experience than making everything about the food. The vacation is more fun than sitting here and looking forward to like, oh my God, can I eat everything in sight, and then be upset with myself for having gained 10 pounds when I'm done. It's like, what are we doing? What is that? What is that? Right? Like, I was just like, oh my God, I'm so done. So you get to do that, hon. You get to do that. Right? All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope that you loved it as much as I did. And tomorrow, are you ready? Are you ready for the sunshine? Tomorrow's day 5. We're going to clear broken belief systems to become completely free. How to let go of the past to commit to your future, and what faith has to do with it. Get ready. It's going to be fun. All right, guys. Oh, and you have a gift for me in your inbox. Much love. I will see you all tomorrow.